And here we find our humble host of the Slyy Report, sitting, enjoying nature, feeling the sun upon his skin. Oh, what have we here? A pocket watch? Oh my goodness, it is time for the Slyy Report. Now watch as our host uses his teleportation powers to get on set. Fascinating. I'm gonna handle this and then we're gonna get into that, you know what I'm saying? Alright, don't.
Yeah, baby.
Aye. Damn.
Yeah, so I gave her that monkey D and that's calling me the Pirate King, you know what I'm saying?
Who really running shit? If it's not us, bitch, we pop up. Who really running shit? If it's not us, bitch, we pop up. We don't just walk the shit, we talkin'. Me and all my niggas solid. If you got a problem, we can solve it.
Good evening.
Well, with the games, we ain't
how
with
you
the
doing?
talk. Either you bout it or you not.
Good morning, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Slyy Report. And today we're going over One Piece, chapter 1130. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we start this chapter off, right, with the 30 plus Straw Hat gang on the giant ship. And it starts off with Frankie and he's telling the Giants, hey, we're gonna call off the search. Like, we ain't found nothing for real. Everybody's done all they can. We just gonna call it a day. We believe in our crewmates. We believe that they'll make it to Elbaph. So we just gonna go ahead and get there and we're gonna wait for them there. So this is happening. At first the Giants are kind of surprised. They're like, hey, you sure you want to call off the search? Like, you sure? And once the crew reassures them, like, yeah, we'll meet the rest of the guys when we get there, they're like, all right, cool. We're going to go ahead and go on. So, that's happening. But we got to cut back to where the action is. So we cut back over to mainland Elbaph, where we got the East Blue 5 and Chopper chilling. They have now broken out of the castle that they were in and they're taking note of their surroundings. They're noticing how everything is so huge and how it's cold out here. And then Nami specifically says that the scale of everything, the vastness of everything that they're taking in around them is actually quite dizzying. So the scale of everything is huge scale compared to our people. So, Usopp then notices that two giants are heading towards them. So he advises everybody to hide. They're like, all right, we're going to hide. So we then see Gerd of the new giant warrior pirates. He's the doctor. And Goldberg, he's the cook of the new giant warrior pirates. They're walking up down the bridge and they're talking about Road. And they're discussing how basically Piper, which is Gerd's owl, saw Mugen, Road's crow, flying in with the ship. And they're discussing how Road is really creepy and how she can't believe Haruden led him on the ship. And Goldberg says, well, despite his creepiness, he is a very skilled navigator. So there's that. But Gerd is like, I ain't trying to hear none of that. To be honest, he's a creep, he's weird. He deserves to be called the shame of Elbaph more so than Loki. So they're discussing that. And while they're discussing that, they're talking about how they're meant to stop intruders from entering Elbaph, but what Road is doing, he's kidnapping people basically and holding them hostage under the guise of them being intruders so he can put them into his little doll fantasy land. So that's happening, and as that's happening, the Straw Hats, they are listening in, but Nami only overhears the part specifically where they're saying they're meant to capture intruders. So she decides it would be a better idea for them to stay hidden, despite Luffy saying, oh, he doesn't get bad vibes from them, he was trying to call out to them, but Nami's like, no, don't do that. So the Giants, Gerd and Goldberg, they kind of hear Luffy at first, but because Nami's told everybody to hide and they're hiding, they're like, oh, we must have been a trick of the wind or something or whatever, and then they go on to confront Road. But Gerd says this, he says, if he's been proven to be doing the things that we think he's doing again, because she asked Piper the Owl to confirm that she saw something, and the Owl does, but she says she's going to have to report him to Elder Juro. And this is one of the elders that was present during the Big Mom flashback, the one that didn't die. So he's still around. But we must continue. We cannot stop here. So we will. So we then cut a little bit further ahead in time as we see the Straw Hats. They are crossing this bridge, this giant rope bridge. And they're all having varying degrees of difficulty. Luffy, he's walking along the rope up on the side. Sanji and Zoro, they're not really having trouble with it. Usopp, he's hyping himself up to cross the bridge. He's like, this is a challenge and I must complete it. But he's still, being Usopp. But he's doing it. Nami, she's kind of struggling with it. And Chopper, he's just having a breeze going down it. He's like, he even comments on it and says, hey, I'm used to traveling on road bridges like this all the time. Like, you get used to it. Because Nami's talking about how difficult it is and how, like, the spaces, because this is a rope bridge made for giants. So it's like gaps in between these planks, but they're massive gaps. Not massive, but they're sizable gaps to a regular sized person. But while they're crossing this bridge, Luffy comments on how there's something, he feels something. It's giving him goosebumps. He feels a strong presence. And he even heard like a howl when they first arrived on the island. He talks to Zoro and Sanji about it, and they comment on it. Sanji's like, yeah, but we can't go check it out, can we? And Zoro, he's ready to go with Luffy to go check it out, but Sanji was like, hey man, Forrest and you don't mix. We're not gonna risk you getting lost. You're staying with us. So Luffy's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and check it out on my own. So he jumps off the bridge down into the wolf-infested forest to go figure out what this presence is, who he's sensing, and what's going on. And the rest of the crew, they're just going to continue on the bridge. So that is happening, but we can't get stuck here. We must continue because there's other things that are happening with both sides of this equation. So we're going to cut back over to the 30 plus Straw Hats when we get back, but stay with us because we're going to take a short break and then we'll be back. Short break for me. You won't know the things. So we cut back over to the giant ship where the World Economic Journal has been delivered. The news, my friends, news. But the news has been delivered and everybody's freaking out over the news. Basically what has happened is the news has reported that the giant warrior pirates helped Luffy to burn down and escape Egghead Island. So, because of this, the giant warrior pirate captains, Dory and Broggy, have gotten a bounty increase. But also, this is a bounty increase with the inflation, because Robin does confirm that there is inflation, but their new bounties are now sitting at 1.8 billion apiece. And Dory and Broggy, they're like, but we weren't trying to come out of retirement or whatever. Like, we were just picking y'all up. Why are they lying like this? because, you know, big news. He likes to spin a story. But, so, the giant warrior pirates are now have active bounties once again. They're now at 1.8 billion apiece. And I believe this Kashi, he comments like, hey, this is great. You know, before, this is a large jump from what it was before. And, yeah. But they also comment on how Luffy was the one to kill Vegapunk. And Frankie's kind of upset by this, but Lilith finds this hilarious. She's laughing. She's like, oh, ha, you guys killed me, huh? So Frankie's like, no, we did everything to save you. Why are they doing this? But Robin notices on the picture of Luffy that's on the newspaper, there is a black X placed on his arm. And it's not something that's on Luffy's arm actively. We know this. But it is a message from Vivi to the crew to let them know that she is okay. But nobody recognizes this message except for Robin, who has like a vague recollections of it because she was there during Elbaph, so she wasn't part of the crew. But the crew, the East Blue Five and Chopper, they all had these X's on their arm to show solidarity with Vivi. So it's a message from Vivi to the crew, hey, I'm okay, you know what I'm saying, don't worry about it. But before the rest of the crew that's with the Giants can ponder on this too long, they move on from it because Dory comes up and he's like, oh wow, it's crazy that Luffy's actually on the same standing, similar standing to Shanks. And one of the other Giants, I believe it's Oimoy or Kashi, one of them, comments on how, yeah, it's crazy how even he has one of our youngsters speaking about Haruden under his flag. So basically, like, he's a subordinate of Luffy. And they comment on how Haruden is a son of the king. So he's a prince of Elbaph. And this is news, but if you, like, I was talking to some of the people I'm in the One Piece group chat with, and they pointed out, like, this was foreshadowed in Dressrosa with Haruden's fight with Mark Weiss. But, you know, I just think it's interesting how Haruden is now the son of, well, he's always has been, but he's the son of the king of Elbaph. So that's interesting. And Loki is younger than him. He's also a prince, and they talk about him. They begin to talk about Loki and how he's the other prince and how Haruden actually wanted to come get Luffy and them, but they needed all hands on deck because Loki had broken free and they needed to restrain him. So they talk about how Loki's the cursed prince, how he killed his father to steal a legendary devil fruit and he consumed it, and how he's the shame of Elbaph. And as they're talking about this, and it's actually interesting because Jinbei knows of Loki. He was actually about to say his name during the conversation, but he knows of Loki from being a part of the Big Mom crew. So that's that time. But while they're talking about that and saying he's the shame of Elbaph, we cut back over to Elbaph. And I'm going to give you this in a second. So stay tuned. So as we cut back to Elbaph, we're with Luffy. And Luffy has found Loki. And Loki's all chained up. He looks sick as hell. I'm not gonna hold you. He looks sick. Design, peak One Piece. Like, peak One Piece design. So, Luffy has found Loki. He's chained up. He has eye coverings. I think that's part of his design. I don't think that's something that they did to him. I think it's something he did to himself. But it's possibly something they did to him related to his powers or just so he couldn't see. But Luffy goes up to Loki, and Loki, I guess sensing his presence, says, state your name. And Luffy gives him a monkey D. Luffy, the man who will be king of the pirates, you know, And Loki's like, king? But before he can continue that, Luffy's like, yeah, so tell me where we at. What's going on? Where are we? What is this place? So Loki's like, hold on. Let me give you the quote. Loki responds with, "This is Warland, the mighty kingdom of Elbaph. They say it is the birthplace of war itself." And as he is saying this, as he's saying this part, we get the whole view of Warland, Elbaph, the island, its mountains, a giant tree. And then you see where the Straw Hats at on the bridge, where they're coming from. There's another layer up where I believe they're headed on that bridge, and that's where you see another big castle in like a main town type place. But it's just, you see, it's a magnificent spread. And there's this giant sword coming down. Like, you're gonna see it up here, but like it's crazy. But not Loki. I'm mixing their names up now. Loki continues, I am the sun god who will bring about the end of the world, as we get a half close up on his face. So that's the end of this chapter. A lot of things that we're gonna have to talk about and discuss, and we're getting a couple break weeks, so that's gonna happen. And hopefully right now on the schedule, Sunday coming on the 27th of October, we will be having another discussion. It'll be live. I'm gonna link it. I'm gonna make a post about it on the page later. I'm gonna put the link for where that's gonna be, but it's gonna be at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, October 27th. Me, my guy Slyy Nation, and my guy King Polo Rich, or King Rich. I always mess up his app, but Rich, we're gonna be doing another One Piece collab, and hopefully we'll have some more surprise people pop in from the One Piece group chat. But hey, that's coming. So we're gonna be discussing everything that's happened since we left Egghead. So all the stuff that's happened since actually leaving Egghead Island, we're gonna talk about that as a whole and discuss that amongst ourselves. And hopefully you guys can come and watch that. But if you can't make the live, I am gonna edit it and put it up on the channel afterwards, so you'll be able to watch it there. But thanks for joining us today. That's all for the Slyy Report. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. We will see you again for the Slyy Report when One Piece comes back from the break. But don't forget to tune in for the Let's Talk Dan to Dan series, because that is coming. I believe I'm either going to put it out either Wednesday night or Thursday morning. I'm probably going to make it Thursday. It was Wednesdays, but I'm probably going to make it Thursday to coincide with the anime. So, like, you can watch the anime, and if you want to get some more Dan to Dan, come to the channel and get the Let's Talk. So, thanks again. I already did the outro, but hey, have a great day. Peace.